What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got a couple of really cool duels for you guys to check out. They're vastly different, but both kind of nice in their own way. The first duel is going to be over in the blink of an eye, so make sure you don't blink, otherwise you might miss half of one of these players' turns. We got Crusadia Guard Dragon facing off against Pendulum Magicians. Interesting tech here. The Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness. I can never get over that monster's name. It's just so bizarre. Running that in Crusadia Guard Dragons, I guess you summon this when you have Magius on the field and it's just like a body or something like that, but it's an interesting tech nonetheless. And in Pendulum Magicians, we already know what they're about, although you don't generally see Dragon Pulse. You're used to seeing, at least I'm used to seeing Dragon Pit, but Pulse not so much. I mean, I guess it's removal, so, you know, there's that. Anyways, probably start with the, oh, nope, I thought it was going to be Pendulum Call, but turns out it's not going to be Pendulum Call. Going straight into Electromite. Okay, fair enough. I mean, Pendulum Call will have to be used at some point in this turn. Maybe you wanted to see what we were going to draw for the Pendulum Call, I mean, for the Electromite first, before committing to the Pendulum Call. I guess that kind of makes sense. Anyways, get a whole bunch of monsters. Going to go for that Decode Talker, get the Vortex, Boiled Savage Dragon on field, and has a Jackal. So, it's pretty good, I would say so myself. You have essentially 3 negations on board, and I guess your Decode, like, it can sort of be. I don't really count Decode as a negation, although it has negation built into it. You generally would want to use it as like the last, you know, negation once you've used up these 2 guys at least. That would make a lot of sense. But anyways, Crusadia Guard Dragon, I would imagine, would have a really tough time playing through this type of board. But what if I told you there was one monster that could lock out all your opponent's negations and it was incredibly easy to summon? Like a ton of decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Could summon it. You guys will see what that monster is. And it's crazy because the card a lot of people thought was going to be irrelevant moving into this new format. Anyways, gonna go straight into the Magius. Then has 2 monsters on board, and you guys can see where we're going. Goes for the Narla, and then you're gonna rank up into Elder Entity as a thought. Yep, this is still a card. People might, you know, without having the rank up Phantom Knight launch, people are probably like, oh, this card will never be played again. But people forget this card can still just be a gateway to OTKing your opponent. And if they have a bunch of negations on board and you summon as a thought, there's nothing they can do for the rest of the turn. This card was super popular during, you know, Pepe format in the OCG because it stopped plush fire so that you could OTK and your opponent couldn't do anything, or performances and powers, as I like to think of it. So at this point, you've got the LP. You've got the Spatha. He's gonna summon Red Eyes Metal Darkness Dragon, and he can just pretty much go off. I'm thinking that the Azathoth is there in case he goes seconds. Anytime I play against Crusadia Guard Dragon and they happen to get to Kaijuto Waterfront, I usually just scoop because I know that I might be able to break their board, but when they get the Gamecill out, I'm like, alright, I'm pretty much just gonna lose. The Gamecill is just too much. Banishing, Solemn Judgment, get that out of here, man. And I didn't even realize that apparently with Saryuja, you could summon to any monster zone. For the longest time, I thought Saryuja had to summon to one of its link points, but no, I guess that's just what people do. But yeah, you can summon anywhere on the field. He's got the rockets going. Again, this is going second, so he is going to be looking to use the battle phase here. Looks like he's going to completely wipe his opponent's board. Not an OTK, but what is the opponent really going to do? All he has is a Pendulum Summon. I guess, let me see. So he would have been able to Pendulum Summon 3 monsters. No, I was thinking maybe you ram your Purple Poison into something, but that doesn't work because the Gamecill can just negate during the damage step. So I'm not really sure that there was like a legitimate play that would have gotten him out of this position. Anyways, that duel is over. Let's go to the second duel. Second duel is going to be significantly grindier because it is 2 control decks. So you're going to see a whole lot of trap cards in this duel. And it's interesting because, you know, Paleozoic is kind of like the it's like the counter control deck that also is a control deck, mainly because, and you can see his opponent starts out really good. Like, I mean, if you open with Border plus like set forward, then you get an Extravagance, draw 2. Like, I mean, what more do you really want from your deck? But the reason that like Paleo has always been good against other control decks is because control decks always use, or they're known for a high number of trap cards, and trap cards are like really awesome, but they kind of hurt you in the Paleo matchup because if you're playing a control deck that's not Paleo in the Paleo, every time you activate a trap, you're potentially going to be giving your opponent an activation or a monster on board with one of those Paleos. So you can see right here, Another card demise. So, I mean, really, the border player is getting all the draw cards that they could ever want, but he is going to be able to start getting those paleo monsters from the graveyard. And it's crazy because Lost World, Lost Wind is going to be dead throughout this entire duel. You know that border control don't do no special summoning. He's going to attack into the Banisher of Radiance that was set face down because of the Gozen match, so that was a little unfortunate. I believe he had Fossil Dyna face up on the field. That's Earth attribute, and then he top decked the, or he had the Banisher, so he had to set it. He's going to go into Totally Awesome. That is going to be met with Bottomless Trap Hole, but it's fine. TA can just negate it. Then he takes his bottom. Oh my god. You know what? Man, what do you even do there? Do you just, with the Bottomless, I guess you just hold it because your opponent taking your Bottomless is just terrible in this matchup. He does have a Regeki. Doesn't want to use it on a Rodent Totem that can't do any damage. He gets that copy of Imperial Order, so now the Regeki is actually hard countered and it won't be doing anything. He gets his copy of Swap Frog, going to activate the effect that's met with Solemn Strike, but I feel like the Paleo player is still in a good position, still in the driver's seat. You know, with that border's just going to be met with Bottomless Trap Hole, and now he gets one of his Paleo monsters. He's going to go for the Regeki, that was predictable, but he has the Imperial Order, which gives him another Paleo monster. At this point, I was like, this game's probably over, especially when he top decked the copy of Swap Frog, because now he can go for a Mistar Boy. His opponent's going to bottomless number to it, but Mistar Boy is still going to technically float, and now he's going to summon the big rank 2 Paleo monster that you really rarely see, but it's the one that can blow up cards on your opponent's side of the field by detaching a material, and it's a quick effect. I mean, his opponent summoning border doesn't really do anything there because he has an Xyz on field, so he can keep using the effect. He's going to pop all of his stuff, and maybe we might see a Boral Sword Dragon here, or nope, looks like he's just going for Totally Awesome, and I think that that's enough damage to actually win a duel. He could have went for Boral Sword Dragon for style points, but it gets him with the same, I mean, it's the same exact result. Maybe he wanted to play around whatever this card could have been, maybe a Battle Fader or something like that, but that's the end of duel number 2. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed these short duels, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.